All right, time for the next installment here of the Hacker Finder development, where I left off in this difficult for me to read, but I guess clearer for everybody color scheme was they'd created actual production code. Yes, and had an implementation, albeit an obtuse one. So get profiles for location. This could be a static method. That's why I've got the squiggly. It's also not using the location text. So there's a whole host of things that are wrong with this. Key here is to figure out what to do next. Oops. So I guess, well, let me go back to my Trello board here first. Trello. Apologies, I should have probably had this ready to go up front. Okay, so that's, let me zoom in. Whoa! Hey. Yeah, good enough. Things to be done, move toward an actual implementation that isn't hard-coded in Profile Searcher. Okay, so, oops, that's not in progress anymore. So we'll do this, and that might become some other cards, and I might think of other things. So, moved in here with a unit test, and let's see, I'm instantiating a Profile Searcher, and then I'm passing in Chicago. As the first location. So I think there are a variety of things I can do here. And actually, the first one I'm going to do is get rid of that squiggly that's annoying me. Apologies for the OCD. So there are a number of ways to maybe crack this nut. It's going to be a little interesting. The outside-in TDD is perhaps a bit different than some more traditional approaches because I'm not breaking this into components and figuring out like at the micro level what I should do. So basically GitHub has this API you can call largely through GET requests. Let me see if bring it up here. GitHub API search. It is so you can do a search of repositories. What I'm interested in here, I'll zoom a bit. Users, search users. So this is what I'm interested in. So you just send a GET request to this URL, and you can then build a query with the search terms. Not too worried about sort and order. So what I want to do is dispatch a query here, and then it's going to give me back some JSON. So when I envision Hacker Finder itself, I can think of a few different kinds of responsibilities that are going to need to exist. So like you're going to need something that turns, a location or whatever things we supply later into a query of the form that GitHub wants. You're going to need something that takes that returned JSON and turns it into profile or whatever domain objects here. So those are a couple different responsibilities. And this entry point to the application searcher will probably, just off the top of my head, might do a dependency injection kind of thing and have a, query builder and a result parser that are handed to profile searcher, inject it into the constructor. And then we'd maybe do some mocking on what comes back. But the outside-in approach is that we're going to just drive the design entirely through what we've got here and let those classes kind of emerge. So the next thing I can think of to do is going to be if we pass in a different location, like let's say we pass in a complete nonsense location. This is on GitHub. I learned a free text field. If I pass in something that's nonsense, I should probably get nothing back. So like get profiles for location should return empty enumeration for nonsense. All right, so what I want to do is, and I'll mention this as I go along here. I tend to type out things, even if it would be easy to copy and paste. Typing them out makes me feel the pain of the duplication, which then prompts me to refactor. I really try to avoid doing any copy and pasting, even knowing I'll refactor it later. Now, you may see me become a liar about that at some point, but nobody's perfect. It's just something I try to do. Let me do something. I just want to reduce the odds that, like, so this is a risk. I'm GitHub generate a GUID. There we go. Generate some GUIDs. All right, so I'm going to assume, so a globally unique identifier, I'm going to assume that nobody has taken this particular GUID and put it in as their location in GitHub. Now, there is a very, very, very tiny chance that somebody may have done that. Probably take till the heat death of the universe for that to be replicated, but let's say it's happened. So I'm assuming a risk here. Because I am going to assume it's valid to say that no, this is nobody's location. But I'm going to go out here shortly to GitHub itself and actually retrieve some profiles. That's my goal. So there is that tiny, tiny remote chance that I would get a false positive here, and then this test wouldn't be right. I'm willing to take that gamble. Whoops. I'm going to say assert r equal int. And we're going to say 0 is the expected and profiles.count. And I expect this to go red because in this method, I right now have hard-coded some profile named Eric. Now, the thing I can think to do so there's a variety of ways I could make this pass. I could say if the location text is Chicago, then, I return this Eric profile. Otherwise, I'd just return an empty enumeration. But I don't want to do anything degenerative, so I'm going to take the step of seeing about going out to GitHub and seeing where that gets me. So let me pull up this window again. I've got my GUID. And basically, I'm going to construct the simplest kind of query I can. Search users. Query is the search term. There are examples. 100 results per page. Oh boy, we're going to have to deal with pagination later. Q equals, imagine you're looking for a popular list of users. Q equals Tom plus repository. We're looking at users with the name Tom. Repos. %3 E42. %3 E. Pardon my ignorance. JavaScript escape. Okay. So this looks like some kind of escape character. %3E. So we're escaping. Ah! So repos greater than 42. Q equals Tom. You can get text match, metadata for issue, login email. Basically, what I'm looking for here is to take a shortcut and I wonder if I can get an example here. Legacy search users. Get a single user. That's not what I want. Location. Oh, okay. So if I go back here, location. Sorry, it's sort of hard to be an engaging narrator while I'm thinking and reading, but I'm going to try to mash that all together and be at least somewhat interesting. So repos, what I want to see is repos and followers. Followers URL. Repos URL. Type score. So I want to see if what comes back. So if I just type locate, oh, you know what? Can actually run some experiments. .com. Oops. Yeah. I want to do this, and then I'll just sort of jack up this query. Q equals. Uh-oh. What if I don't care about the... that gets me... Okay. Let's try... Location... Chicago. I don't think that's working. Oh, wait, maybe DHH does live in Chicago. Chicago, no. I thought 37 signals might have been based out of there. So this, is it giving me location at all? Well. Oops. Location. That's weird. Okay, so a bunch of Weisenheimers typed in location ASDF. I wonder if we did Chicago IL. Well, this seems to be working. I think this guy's a Chicago native. Evan Miller. Looking for people I know. You know what? I have a better idea than leaving myself as Chicago. Here's what I'm going to do. Edit profile. Wheeling, Illinois. You know what? I also don't feel like dealing with... I'm a cheater. I do not want to deal with the space in this string, at least not right now. So... Hey, there we go. Okay, so... what I'm going to do... shortly here is change the location text that's inbound. So let me get back to green for now because I want to make some changes here, and I'm going to say, whoa, not that, Wheeling L, and I'm going to make this so I'm going to have this goofy string be my location text for the foreseeable future. Now I'm back everywhere green, so let me go back to my... there's only like 5 files in here. Oh, there we go. No. No. Ah, okay. Go back to 0 and get my red test back. And now let's see. It's been a long time since I had like a web client in code. So let me see. I might just ask Twitter. HTTP client. Just looking around for a good one. Parsing REST services. I might be overthinking this. JSON. All right. I have a web request. HTTP client. I don't remember if that comes inside the framework or not. Let's find out. Yep. Okay. Let's see what this guy can do. Get. I don't want to get async. I just want to get. Get hash code. I mean, I probably should do get async. I don't know a ton about this library, so let me, oops. When's this from? Oh, this isn't really like that recent either. Response. Okay. I have done this before, I promise. I just have the memory of a goldfish, apparently. Alright. Response. Response body equals... Well, let me just take this guy's code. I'm trying to get to green here, and I'm trying to do it in sort of the 20-ish minutes time frame. Whoa. No. Give me both of these lines. Interesting. Ensure... Oh, boy. I wonder if that's an extension method. You smart enough to find extension methods yet? Oh, whatever. I just want a... Alright. Using... Oh, I should probably do that at some point. Get async... Oh. Get async... result... Well, that's cool. Result. Except, what's the problem? System aggregate exception. One or more errors returned. Yikes. Okay. Let me do this for the moment because I'm probably banging against their server. And set a breakpoint and debug this test. I'm going to see what the problem is here. There is one exception. An error occurred while sending the request. That's great. Yes. The server committed a protocol violation. Well, can't really help what the server does, I suppose. Maybe I'm missing something. I see I'm not the first person with this problem. In my case, the IIS did not have what? Are there no accepted answers? Try putting this in your app's webconf. Use unsafe header parsing. Well, okay. I love trying random things from the internet. Let's see what happens this time. Oops. Why do I feel like this isn't going to fix my problem? It had a lot of responses. There were a lot of upvotes, I mean. Okay. Oops. An error occurred. Yeah. One way to find user agent. Oh, that's interesting. User agent request parameter. Oh, okay. So user agent cancellation token. I wish that dude had elaborated. Well, you know what I can do? Task. Boy, that's ugly. Okay, so you can see where it all goes wrong. Steps over. Method equals null, not yet computed. Task. Waiting for activation. Okay. Activate. Okay. So what actually happened here? The test failed because I stepped out of the exception. What is this? This is what I needed. Oh, somebody said this in the user agent client dot. Okay. Boy. So, let's see. Is there base address? All right. Back to the drawing board. Oh, wait. There was a .NET. Client equals headers.add. Oh. Really? Headers. User agent. Whoops. Sure. Fingers crossed. We're getting kind of long here into this episode. Yeah. Hey, let's go upvote everybody. I like you. Who else? Go back one. Where's this comment? All right. Well, that was. I feel like going on a rant and saying that somebody here somewhere should have given me a better message, but you know, onward and upward. So naturally, I'm going to, in a blaze of recklessness, get rid of this. Turn nCrunch back on. Wait, that might be stupid. Let me wait on that first. Which means I actually have to go back here and run my unit tests. Man, it's been a long time since I did this in the .NET world. I just want to... Okay, one passing, one failing. That is what I was expecting. So what I want to do... Result... how's this for ugly? But I'm getting toward a half hour here, so I gotta kind of hustle to keep this even semblance of reasonability. What is this? Content. Content is an HTTP content. Headers. ToString dot contains Eric Dietrich. This is like pretty awful. Enumerable.empty profile. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Now then, all good. Okay, so maybe I got my GitHub name wrong. What is my username? So I did this. Eric Dietrich. Really? Oh boy. Let's do this. And this. See what we come up with. Ah, well. So, I was really hoping there would be something better than parsing this. Read as string. Tell me that returns a string. No. Read as string returns a... Oh, yeah, okay, fine. Result. All right. Fingers crossed. Eh. Really? Why on earth? Oh, because I am doing all manner of silly things. So let's see if I can get clever here. Don't want to do any of that. Extract string to no. Format, fine. Now, let's end on a, oops, let's end on a good note here. Come on. Oh, there we go. All right, that was a lot of bad noise, and this is going to be in clear need of refactoring. And in fact, let me get busy here in Trello. Things I don't like. Ncrunch is off. I'd like Ncrunch to be on. I don't know if that's possible if GitHub's going to start throttling me. And if that's the case, that'll actually inform design. Like maybe we create a thin shim in there for continuous testing. Let's see. I don't like that Ncrunch is off. I don't like get profiles for location needs a good bit of cleanup. And I need to put some non-happy path tests around get profiles for location. There are a lot of assumptions baked in there for me to get that that distinction to green. Well, you know what's interesting? Before I leave, I never actually... Oh, no, I turned all of Ncrunch off. I'll turn Ncrunch back on next time, both and see if that's working. But let me do this. Add what? Oh, run spec flow scenarios. Okay, so that's still passing. I wanted to make sure. So I have all my tests are passing, and I'm going to feel good about committing this code. And I'm sorry for going like 13 minutes over, but you know, it's not all smiles and sunshine. Episode 4. Started grabbing actual data from GitHub. So commit that. Sync, sure, push. And we're good. I will see you next time.